Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be, and I'm going to confuse a lot of new viewers here, this is going to be the 4K special. I know I'm late. You see, you guys have been doing an absolutely amazing time with supporting this channel, and honestly, it is kind of crazy. Like, it sounds like I'm gloating, but this is all you guys. The amount of views and subscribers I've been gaining in the past week. Like, I don't even really know how to thank you guys other than making videos more frequently. You see, this is going to be one of the quicker turnarounds I've done. And this is not a decrease in quality. Absolutely not. You guys have just forced me to be less lazy. That little thank you out of the way. This video is going to be about unexplained phenomena, okay? Stuff throughout pop culture, history, just some of the most notable unexplained stuff. Everything from Sasquatch to UFOs to the origin of the universe. I'm going to be going through all of these unexplained phenomena, putting them into a tier list from D tier being, okay, that's kind of cool, but like, I don't really care, to S tier being just about every single night at 12:43 a.m. I have like a good 30-minute like existential crisis trying to think about it. You're going to understand what I mean when we get into this, and we're going to have some laughs along the way. Thank you, everybody who's been supporting, leaving likes, comments. I also got to do a 5K special, so leave a suggestion for that in the comment section down below. Let's try to get to 100,000 by July of next year. That's my goal. July of next year, we will get to 100,000 subscribers. That is my pledge to you, and I will make videos as quickly as I can. And all that out of the way, let's get started. Let's start off with Sasquatch, okay? Sasquatch, I think you guys all know about Bigfoot. You've seen the Bigfoot footage of a dude in a very obvious ape costume just walking through a stream. And I'm going to be real with you, dude. I'm not a huge fan of Sasquatch. Not because I think it's fake, but no, it's like, is it really that far-fetched? Like, let me just say this real quick. I believe Sasquatch at some point existed. I don't think it exists now, because you're telling me nobody's found it? Like, nobody with a drone? Nobody's found, like, where it eats? Like, brother, have you seen a black bear walk on its hind legs? Like, that looks pretty wild. So when I see, like, a picture of an obvious person in an ape costume, and, like, this is the problem that I have with it, dude. It's not even that crazy. Oh, cool, there's an ape. Like, there are so many animals that, like, if you told me they existed, but I never seen them, and, like, we're living in, like, the 1500s, like, that would seem more far-fetched than me. Like, a giraffe seems more outlandish than a unicorn. So it's a horse with a spear on its forehead, which we know animals can get, like a fucking narwhal. So it's a horse that has a spike that it can ram things with. Versus a giraffe, which is just a long-necked camel. For absolutely zero. Like, there's more animals that seem more outlandish than Sasquatch. It's a big ape that walks on its hind legs. Wow, that's crazy. Dude, when Europeans first found grizzly bears in America, they thought that they were demons. They actively asked the Native Americans, bro, what is in the woods? Why can't bullets penetrate it? And then you had, like, these Native Americans speaking to these stupid little Europeans, and they're like, bro, listen, hey, you're fucked, okay, because we send our greatest warriors that can make fire just by snapping their fingers while you guys are basically dehydrated and barely know how to fist. Yeah, no wonder you guys think those are demons. We call them skinwalkers, brother. Like, grizzly bears seem more made up than gorillas. And gorillas, if there was no gorillas in the world, seem crazier than Sasquatch. Like, the reason that I think Sasquatch existed isn't because of what some, like, Karen that lives in the trailer park down in Appalachia said. No. It's the fact that, like, the Native Americans have stories of something that really resembles what Sasquatch looks like. And was like, oh yeah, no, we had fur people. We called them the wild man. And yeah, we hunted them to extinction because they threatened our women. Like, what? Like, we just brushed past that? Like, yeah, I think they were something that existed in America. Dude, a saber-toothed tiger seems more made up than Sasquatch to me. Like, as far as, like, being an unexplained thing, I think it's pretty easy to explain, but it's not the dumbest one, so I'm just gonna put it in C tier, dude. Like, This was going to be a cryptid tier list, but I'm not Wendigoon. I am not a foremost expert on that matter yet. I do plan on doing a cryptid tier list eventually. So, yeah, Sasquatch I think is a little bit overrated. Is it that crazy? No. It's a big ape that we know existed. I think it was like Gigantopithecus. Is it really that crazy that it came into America and just lived in the woods and the Native Americans hunted it to extinction? I think it's crazier to think that they live among us now. But yeah, C tier. Next up, Deja Vu. I have heard so many explanations behind Deja Vu. To like the two people who don't know what Deja Vu is, it's like when you're doing something in your day-to-day life, and then you get hit with this overwhelming feeling that you've done it before, and you almost convince yourself that you have memories of doing this again. And you're like predicting what happens next, and every once in a while you can do it. I have heard everything from it is your brain communing with your other self in a multiverse, to a premonition given to you by like some supernatural entity, to it's your brain just basically double printing a page in a book. And I'm gonna be real with you, dude. Deja Vu, outside of, oh, that's kind of cool, it makes you feel like That's So Raven. For anybody who's seen the That's So Raven, that was I think it was on Disney a while back. I know they made a reboot that was pretty ass because one of the main people that was in the show became like a drug addict. Like, is it really that cool, though? Like, oh, cool, you can see 5 seconds into the future for, like, one time a month. And outside of that, it's just really annoying. Like, I remember, dude, I was in school, and I was taking a test, and I got Deja Vu while I was taking this algebra test, dude. I was, like, in middle school. And I convinced myself that I knew the answer because I had memories of getting the test back. I proceeded to fail that motherfucker. So, yeah, it didn't really help me. So if I sound salty, I'm just not a fan of Deja Vu. In my mind, it's just your brain taking a little fart. And, yeah, I don't think we're communing with our multiversal selves, man. I think we're just having a slight brain aneurysm. Next up, crop circles. I want to do crop circles before aliens because I'm going to say some pretty defamatory stuff about crop circles. And I want to talk about aliens separately. So, crop circles. Not a fan. Like at all, dude. Crop circles might be one of the dumbest dude, that is the most 1900s way of thinking I have ever heard. Yeah, Dan! The aliens are communing with me. How are they doing that? Oh, they're, stamping shit into the field. What does it mean? We don't really know. Like, if aliens were communing with us, okay, and they were communicating with us by stamping their language into a field, why wouldn't they just do it in English, dude? Like, imagine it is aliens and they just basically graffitied our food source as their way of saying, like, imagine this is like imagine every crop circle you see is just an alien dick pic. Like, if we were aliens, okay, we would get into our flying saucer Ferraris, and we would go to like some indigenous planet where they would like worship our planes as if they were gods. Yeah, 100%. We would just make little crop circles in their forest, and then we would just make it into giant dick pics. 100% we would do that. Like, if that's what it turned out to be, it would be really funny, but let's be real here. Is it really that unexplainable? It was a farmer that was barely making ends meet that wanted to become cool, so he took a bale of hay and rolled it through the entirety of his field. Yeah, I lost some money. Whatever. I get some notoriety, and people are going to come up to a reporter, and the reporter's going to be hot, and I'm going to try to get laid. Like, that is what I believe crop circles were. And because aliens were so big, like, right before, like, the government kind of ruined it, people kind of just ate it up. Like, I dislike crop circles more than I dislike Deja Vu, because we pretend like crop circles are cool, but they're really not, dude. It's more or less like, yeah, we stamp something into some field. Cool. Next up, UFOs. Listen here, bro. I was gonna make a whole alien tier list about like gaming aliens and all that shit, but I just wanted to make this. I like aliens, bro. Like here's the thing. I believe that aliens are a real thing. I think the only approach that you can take that aliens do not exist is you have to take the religious approach. Because the fact is like, I've heard all the reasoning. It's just like, well, maybe we're the only life in the universe. It's like, the only way that that's possible. Like, dude, if you're an atheist and you believe that we are the only living thing in the universe, dude, you might just be dumb. So, in your worldview, in the infinite of the universe, we are the only thing that exists, and you're still gonna say, yeah, I just don't believe in a creator. Brother, that almost confirms that a creator is a real thing. Like, when people talk about, it's like, well, maybe it's so rare, like it's 1 in 50 trillion that life is going to exist. Brother, when you're dealing with something that is infinite, probability doesn't matter anymore. That sounds like a 900 IQ statement. No. Imagine this, okay? Imagine if I give you a swimming pool. Like, imagine a swimming pool, okay? And I put 1 grain of sand into the swimming pool. And I say, there is a 50 trillion% chance that when you scoop water with your hands, you're going to get that 1 grain of sand, okay? And it's just 1 swimming pool. You don't even know if there's going to be a grain of sand in there. You would say, oh yeah, there's no grain of sand in the swimming pool. Now, if I expand the swimming pool infinitely, there's going to be an infinite number of grains of sand. And every time, like, yeah, you're probably not going to find it. It's still probably going to be insanely rare, but there's going to be an infinite numbers of grains of sand because you're dealing with an infinite amount of water. So if you're dealing with an infinite universe, yes, you're going to find alien life. It's just how it's probability. That's how it's going to work. But if there's 0 aliens, it's like, yeah, bro, there is a God then. Like, it's not checkmate either way. Like, I would also argue, like, why wouldn't you create multiple things? Like, would that be kind of wild if there wasn't? As far as, like, UFOs, okay, I've had, like, whole discussions with this with family. Let me just say this, dude. It would be infinitely worse. I would be infinitely more scared if we found out that, like, the Tic Tacs, the UFOs that we've been seeing, are actually crafts that we make, and that's us. Like, think about this, dude. People, like, will be like, oh, yeah, no, that's just drones that we have. How are you not terrified? The fact that there is a entity in the world that can create a drone that literally flies circles around an F-35 fighter jet, an F-22 Raptor, that has only ever been hit 1 time in its entire history of being a fighter pilot. Yeah, there's something that can go circles around it. You should be terrified then that there is a military in the world that could no-diff our greatest asset in any armed conflict, that being our Air Force. Like, if you believe like any UFO is real, okay, you want it to be aliens infinitely more than you want it to be people, because I know people are going to be like, well, what if they're bad? Brother, if aliens were evil, we would be fucked, but we would already be dead. If it's people, we are going to die. There is no way past it. I would also argue it is less likely that we developed a piece of technology that outperforms anything that we have ever built. Outperforms the fastest fighter jets that we can make. Does shit that violates the laws of physics by having a craft that has no visible mean of propulsion and just floats through the air, goes from 10 feet above sea level to 50,000 feet in less than a millisecond. I think it is infinitely more likely that it's just something we can't explain than some people were able to make it and nobody said anything. Like, to give you an idea, dude, we could not keep the nuclear bomb secret during World War II. We could not keep Oppenheimer a secret for more than a year. Dude, the moment we made a working nuclear bomb, the Soviets got plans for it. If we can't keep a nuclear bomb secret during World War II, what makes you think we could make some anti-grav flying aircraft and nobody leaked a single thing for 60 years? Okay? Like, that to me seems weirder than that. Like, that's how I look at it, okay? The most I would go open to is like, yeah, no, there was a craft, we like back engineered it, and like the US military has kind of a working model, but we're still working out the kinks on that. So it's kind of a drone, but we had to get it, like, we had to back engineer some shit that we found from, like, Roswell. Like, that seems more likely to me than we developed a whole new form of propulsion and technology, and not one person said something. We could not keep MK Ultra secret. Like, I think people overestimate just how good the government is at keeping a secret. Like, I think they're way worse at it than you think they are. But, yeah, judging by the rant on there, I would actually put Aliens in A tier. Is it my favorite thing to get involved in? I gotta put it in S tier, dude. There's gonna be more than one S tier, but it is one that I do come back to a lot, and I might actually make like a full UFO iceberg video just because of how funny it can get. I'm not saying it's not weird. I don't believe in every single sighting, but at the same time, when there is something weird, yeah, I'll look at it again because it's fun. Like, UFOs are a fun thing. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I am gonna put it in S tier. It is fun. Next up, ghost and like paranormal, like that type of spirits and shit. I don't know, dude. Like, here's the thing. Have I had like a weird experience? You know what? This would be actually a perfect video to go down. So imagine this, okay? Me, I am a 9-year-old kid. I'm getting ready to go to 4th grade, okay? And I'm chilling with my brother. We have a bunk bed. We're in like a little farmhouse, okay? Not a terrible house, but a pretty good house. So we're chilling, and we're probably talking about like how to get leveled up in Skyrim. Like, I think we were talking about some dumb shit like that. Like the lore of Skyrim at 9 years old. Yes, I'm a nerd. And we were talking about that, okay? My little brother at that time, I believe, was like 7 years old. And then we're talking, right? It is like maybe 10 o'clock at night. Like, that was staying up for us. Everybody's asleep. We are on the 2nd floor of a building. And the room right next to us, there's not a single person in that room. I remember distinctively that my sister went to a sleepover or was hanging with her boyfriend. I'm not sure on there. I know she was not around, and she was like 17 years old at the time. And we remember just this pounding on the door. Okay, we're on the 2nd floor. Nobody's getting in through the window and pounding on the door and then just not elaborating, okay? But I remember that distinctively. And I will say this, brother, that house had some negative vibes. I'm not sure if it was Casper the Ghost or Cthulhu the Demon God, but somebody was effing with me when I was 9 years old. So yes, I do believe there is some semblance of something paranormal, but I'm not going to be here and be like, yes, all ghosts are real. Like, no. I think there's some shit that we can't explain, but I'm not going to, like, devote my life to it. Like, yeah, it's cool. I'll watch a top 5 ghost video. But, like, I would argue 99% of all paranormal things that are caught on camera are also faked on camera. Like, yeah, it's not something that I think about a lot. Like, I'll argue this, dude. Ghosts are cooler than Sasquatch in my eyes. Like, Sasquatch is something where it's like, yeah, how is that crazy that a big hairy ape exists when we have gorillas and fucking giraffes that are a real thing? Dude, a narwhal seems more fake than Sasquatch. I've said it again. That's why Sasquatch is so low. Ghost is at least kind of a cool concept that has a long background. But I'm gonna put it in B tier. Next up, Missing 411. This is something I'm gonna do like a quick shout out. So a huge inspiration to this channel, and if you haven't noticed already, is Wendigoon. Wendigoon's one of my all-time favorite YouTubers, and I remember he did a deep dive into Missing 411. There's other YouTubers that did it, but I remember when Wendigoon did it, and it got me down a rabbit hole. Okay. So there is a classification of people that go missing, where like when you say like, if somebody goes missing, they'll say, like, okay, he was either kidnapped, he was sold into some type of slavery, he was killed. It'll be one of those. But there's also a segment of missing people that they classify as 411 disappearances. And what that is that they have absolutely no clue what happened to you. There is no trace of you ever. Or if there is a trace of you, it is so weird how you went missing and the evidence that they found of you that they cannot establish a motive or how it happened. And this happens nowhere in greater occurrences than the United States national parks. This is why, I'm not even kidding you, I will never go to a national park in my life because I am deathly afraid of going missing. The thought that you could go missing and that the American government will straight up say, yeah, vanished in the thin air, and they just don't elaborate. They give up on finding you within 48 hours and you're just basically dead in the system. That is terrifying. And if you want to get crazier into it, the fact that like the U.S. National Park Service more or less kind of puts a gag order on these things coming out because they're worried that it'll ruin numbers of people coming in. Throw in another thing there, a lot of these disappearances happen in cave systems, so they aren't exactly sure what happened. Throw in some of the 411s where they're either super young people or they're really, really old people. However, young people are more likely to be found again. And I still remember this story. There was like an 8-year-old kid that went missing for like a week. Okay? They thought this kid was dead. And then, not even, like they gave up on finding this kid. A hiker going down a trail finds this kid just chilling. And then they take this kid back. Everybody's happy. But then this kid starts saying some weird shit. He starts talking about how, yeah, no, there was a person that was helping me. I remember, dude, he talked to his grandma, okay? His grandma, he told his grandma, yeah, you helped me there. You helped me when I was on the trail. You're the one that, like, kept me alive. You fed me food there. But you were a little bit different. You were like a robot, grandma. Brother, if my fucking kid came up to me after going missing for a week and started describing somebody moving around in like spidery, fidgety movements and that thing kept me alive, I'm returning my kid. Fuck that, bro. Absolutely not. That is why I am never going to a national park in my entire life. Call me a pussy. I do not give a shit, brother. That sounds absolutely terrifying. And the fact that like the parents that were there described weird shit that happened to them, like, here's another one, okay? Okay. If the story that the parents told was that, oh yeah, we were camping and we were just having a good time, and then we heard some weird noises outside of our tent, but we went to sleep anyways, and we woke up outside of our tent. Fuck that! We ain't doing that. Absolutely not. I am never returning. I don't even like camping, dude, because I'm terrified of that. 411, although, is one of my favorite things to talk about. I might put that's going to be an A+. I might even move that up to an S tier later on. But 411, I'm going to start it out at an A tier, dude. Bro, that's another... I love it, dude. 411 is so scary to me, but I will watch 411 stories till the day that I die. And I will never go to a national park because of it. Next up, the pyramids. Who built them? When was it built? Here's the thing. I'm like partially memeing. We have a pretty good idea of who built them and when they were built. But there's still a lot of mystery surrounding it. And I'm not going to lie to you, dude. When, like... Pyramids are kind of cool. And I do think it's weird that we are like, oh yeah, what were the pyramids built for? Oh yeah, they were built for tombs for pharaohs. Okay, have we ever found a pharaoh's tomb inside of the pyramids? Never. Absolutely never. It's actually pretty barren in there. But it's hollow. Like, we aren't exactly sure of the entirety of the interior of the pyramid. And we've never found pharaoh's remains in it. But yeah, no, they're a tomb. I think that's weird. Like, maybe they were meant for something. Like, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on here, but like, there is some weirdness there. I've also heard theories that they are much older than we thought they were. The fact that they have like rain erosion. In fact, there wasn't any rain in the time that they thought that it was built. So you would have to go back another like 12,000 years for when they're like Egypt was like a rainforest back in the day. It's fun. It isn't something that I'm like staying up at night and I'm thinking about. I'm not over here like the aliens built it for them, because how could any stupid human ever build it? Like, no, I think we can build cool shit. But, like, I'll also give you a point. Isn't it kind of wild that, like, one of the quarries that they got one of, like, the massive 20-ton stones from was, like, 100 miles in the other direction? So they had to lug that all the way over there to build the pyramids? Yeah, that's kind of weird, too. Why would you go through all this trouble of building something that wasn't even used as a tomb? But, like... There's some weird stuff around the pyramids, but I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, aliens built it. Like, I don't think it's that. I think, at most, Egyptians had, like, some architects or technology that we didn't think that they had. Like, I think that's the absolute most I'm willing to go with that. But, like, this whole idea that, like, oh, even modern people couldn't build the pyramids, which has been debunked, by the way. Like, think about this, bro. Oh, cool, you built a pyramid. Guess what? We built one made out of glass and we just put it in fucking Las Vegas for fun. Like, brother, there's a Bass Pro Shop that's a pyramid in America. Like, we build weird shit because we want it to be weird. We have an Eiffel Tower in Vegas purely because we thought it looked cool. Like, we build cool stuff too. Like, I'll tell you this right now, dude. If like, say the entirety of humanity, like, went missing, okay? And it's, like, post-apocalyptic, the nature's taking everything. And I came across the pyramids, I would think that's pretty cool. But if I'm walking through the forest and I see Mount Rushmore, that's infinitely weirder than the pyramids. That's way crazier than the pyramids is. Overall, I'm putting it in C tier. I think Sasquatch is more entertaining than the pyramids. Next up, life after death experiences. These are going to be stories where people were like, they had a near death experience. They described seeing a light, or the craziest ones that I found. I remember going down a whole rabbit hole when I was like 13 on it. I got really introspective at 13. People that like died and claimed they went to heaven or like went to hell, and like I just want to talk about this really quick. If you died and went to hell, but like got resurrected, and want to tell me, you want to give me life advice on anything, brother, that is like me asking for driving advice from a drunk driver. Why the fuck would I take anything you say with any type of weight? Brother, you failed life and had to reload from last checkpoint. Why would I take anything you have to say? If anything, I want to be the exact opposite of you. You failed life, okay? Like, keep that shit to yourself. If somebody, like, died and, like, went to heaven and they described that, I would take advice from that guy. I think I remember one story where, I don't know how true this is. This might be completely made up in, like, a Reddit story, but for whatever reason, it's funny to me. So a dude was 7 years old. He drowned, died, and then he describes heaven. And then he came back to life, lived his entire life, right? And then at, like, 21, he got really depressed and tried to, Control-Alt-Delete himself, and then went to hell. Brother, what the hell, man? That's such a wild story. Like, dude, why wouldn't you just continue it? Like, well, I could have told you that was gonna end badly. You tried to hit a speed strat to fast track life. That's wild. That is like hiring a hitman to kill you and saying that's not Control-Alt-Delete yourself. Like, what are you doing? I'm never taking your advice again. Also, like, I don't usually, like, get religious on here, but, like, I would also argue, like, even in, like, mainstream Christianity, it's, like, pretty well said that when you die, you don't go straight to heaven, you don't go straight to hell. Your next waking moment will be judgment. So I think it's weird that a lot of these guys are like Judeo-Christian and they also say, oh yeah, I die and just went straight to hell. Like, brother, that's not how it works. Like, even under your own realm of belief, that's not how it works. Like, you're a scam artist, bro. You're trying to sell a book. And, yeah, I'm not taking your advice if you already went down under. But it is interesting. I'm going to put it in B tier, dude. Along in the same area as Ghost. And finally, the origin of everything, the origin of the universe, everything. This is where I've probably had my, like, most introspective thinking. I remember this, dude. I remember drinking 300 milligrams of caffeine. It is like 10 o'clock at night. I had to pull, like, an all-nighter. And for whatever reason, I had enough free time to where, like, I opened up ChatGPT and I had a discussion of, like, the origin of everything while I'm listening to, like, Mariah Carey and, like, TikTok from Kessa. That was a wild time, dude. But, yeah, and, like, is it fun to talk about? Like, I've learned it's like, this is all I gotta say, bro. I know some people would be like, well, it's the Big Bang, duh, no, it was created. Like, this is, what bothers me about, like, the Big Bang, people, is, like, whenever you, like, ask, like, the next logical follow-up question is, okay, what came before the Big Bang? I have found most of them, like, get really mad when you ask that question. And it's like, oh, well, obviously nothing. So it's like, brother, don't you think that's kind of crazy that, like, part of, like, the laws of physics is, like, nothing can come from nothing, nothing can be created or destroyed. But, like, the biggest miracle that you're talking about is everything had to come from nothing and just spawn in. Like, even if you don't believe in a creator, you believe in a creating force. Like, you see where I'm going with this. Like, don't be mad at me if the next logical question to be asked is what created that. And you same people when we be like, oh yeah, God created this. You'll be like, oh no, well, who created him? Like that, yeah, that would be the next logical question. And I had that with like ChatGPT. Also, ChatGPT is pretty ass at those types of discussions. If you want to try that, try it. Is it fun to talk about though? Like not with other people. Like the fact is like, if you can't tell, train a little bit of jujitsu. We'll have like these introspective conversations every once in a while, but most people are either on edibles or actively smoking a blunt, or are just already on Adderall. So when you start bringing up the origin of everything and the end of everything, if you're on Adderall, bro, you are going to have the worst time ever. Even people like on edibles, bro, they'll just fucking lose it when you start talking about this. So it's kind of hard to talk with other people about it, so you kind of have to force to talk with yourself. But I'll put it in A tier, bro. Like, it is a fun thing to bring up. Like, just unexplained stuff. I'll be real here. When I'm in a conversation, I think UFOs come up before that. And then I hit people with the 411 conspiracy. And then we'll start with the origin of the universe. Or I'll skip past that and go straight to ghost. I think, yeah, crop circles I think have only come up like twice. I still remember, dude, I had a buddy that was a flat earther. And it was kind of wild. But he's a cool dude, okay? He's like a plumber. And, bro, if you got a problem with your sink, brother, he is going to fix that shit in 15 minutes, bro. We call him Mario. Mario believes the earth is flat and that, like, the pyramids were constructed by, like, some levitating magic. We gotta love that shit, bro. If you think I'm making this up, I'm telling you we ain't making that up. But there you go. That's going to be the video. Thank you, everybody who tunes in. I can't believe people watch this, which is absolutely insane. And as far as goals, I will be making a special every 1,000. I feel like we're making pretty good time with that, and I'm actually trying to catch up. But, yes, no. Goal is reaching 100,000 subscribers by July of 2025. That is my goal. That is my pledge to you guys. If you guys help me out, I'll do a crazy giveaway for, I don't know, I think I'll give away, like, a PS5, like, a pre-built PC, and, like, an Xbox One. Okay? Like, that wouldn't be the craziest thing to do for a 100K special. Why not? You guys have been supporting me. I'll support you guys. Thank you, everybody. If you have a video suggestion, put it in the comment section down below. I got a 5K special to do. And probably by the time that comes out, we got a 6K special. Thank you, everybody who watched these videos. And I will see you all next time. Adios.